A beautiful Wednesday night in the capital city, Boise, Idaho, and the penultimate home game for the Boise State Broncos as they welcome the top dog of the Mountain West, San Diego State Aztecs, for a great one. This has been circled on the calendars for a long time for both sides. We welcome you into the office, courtside here at ExtraMile Arena. That's Kim Bridges. I'm Taylor Lundquist. How's your day? We're glad you're with us. Kim, I mentioned this is probably the two top dogs. San Diego State has cemented themselves over the last few years in that top position. What does it take to beat a team like this?
You know, this is going to take a huge effort for the Broncos. This is number 1 against number 2. This is a momentum game going into the last couple games of Mountain West play. This is going to be a great night.
San Diego State has a great guard that leads this offense, Naomi Panganiban, who does just a little bit of everything. 18 points in the last matchup against the Broncos.
Panganiban is so difficult. She is a 3-level scorer who can hurt teams in the paint, mid-range, and outside for 3. In their last meeting, she lit up the Broncos for 18 points, going 7 for 10 from the field. If Boise State wants success tonight, they need to disrupt her scoring rhythm by showing lots of early help and relying on their defensive scramble to force her teammates to do more of the scoring.
Panganiban, one of 4 sophomores in the starting lineup for the Aztecs. Danny Bays, one of 4 seniors in the lineup starting for the Broncos, and she's done it all season long.
She has. She's coming off a solid effort in that last 2 games. She found her scoring stroke at San Jose State, going 5 of 8 from the field and finishing with 12. This do-everything senior has been a Swiss Army knife for the Broncos this year. She gives them whatever they need, whether it's scoring, diving on the floor, finding an open teammate for an assist. The Broncos need her firing on all cylinders for a dub tonight.
Well, it's the youth movement versus the tried and true, and the Broncos doing everything they can to control home court. We've got a great one coming up, San Diego State and Boise State, when we come back. Welcome you back inside ExtraMile Arena as we finish up getting these starting lineups. Just saw San Diego State's. Now you see Boise State's. This is a starting 5 that you've seen just about every game. 4 seniors in there: Tatum Thompson, Danny Bays, Maya Hansen, and Natalie Pascoe, alongside the sophomore from Australia, Libby Hutton, at the forward position. Kim Bridges alongside myself, Taylor Lundquist. Kim, this team has been getting it done all season long, and with 4 seniors at the helm, they know what it takes to beat teams like this on the other side in San Diego State.
They do, and like we said in the pregame, this is a big momentum game. I mean, right now, San Diego State has already clinched the regular season championship. They will be the 1 seed unless some really strange things happen in the next few games. With that being said, this is a great opportunity for the Broncos to test their mettle before they go down and play UNLV, before they head down to the Mountain West tournament. So I'm really excited to see both these teams in this matchup tonight.
Everything is the road to Vegas, and this is one of those games that's been circled on the calendar. It was on the goals board for this team at the beginning of the season. This one matters. San Diego State starting lineup: Nat Martinez, Nala Williams, Naomi Panganiban, Kennedy Lee, and Bailey Barnhard. And Kim, as you look at the keys to the game, what stands out to you here?
You know, these 2 teams are so close and so closely ranked in Mountain West stats. I think it's going to really come down to possession basketball. Who's going to execute, who's going to score and stop in those key moments.
The 3 officials on the floor tonight: Tyler Trimble, Sean Martin, and Stacy Blow. San Diego State controls first possession. Nala Williams, 14 in black, with the ball in her hands, gets a screen from Lee. Kicks into the corner, Barnhard. Dribble drive, dumps underneath to Lee. Kicks back out Williams. One more time. Good ball movement. 4 on the shot clock. Got to go. Barnhard puts one up off the rim. Deflected around into Lee. Now Hansen. Maya Hansen pushing tempo the other direction. Has no numbers and decides to bring it back out with Bays. Down low to Hutton, and an early 2 for Libby Hutton.
Hutton has just become such an impact for the Broncos in the second half of the season. Before, she was the sort of hesitant player that I think other teams would sort of sag off of, and now they definitely have to respect what she brings to the game.
And a turnover forced by Boise State.
Barnard is a good shooter. Don't let that miss fool you. She can definitely light it up from 3. She loves to, little contact there. I think that's going to be Martinez that's going to get that call.
Yeah, they will get Nat Martinez for blowing up the screen.
It's tempting to curl tight on that. I think that was really wisely done by Maya Hansen, coming off tight on that screen.
Both of these teams shooting over 30% from beyond the arc. San Diego State 35% from three. Danny Bays just off the rim. Good board by Hutton. Little turnaround floater up and good. She's got the first 4 points for the Boise State Broncos.
Again, love the scoring mentality. Libby Hutton came into the season, I think, sort of as a passive scorer, looking to pass first, thinking about other people versus herself, and I love her attack early.
Hansen lost the handle briefly. A cutting Libby Hutton just misses the mark.
That was a great look, though, and an excellent cut. Timing of the cut between the Aussie connection there. Great pass by Danny Bays. I know Hutton wants that one back.
Boy, that X cut is so tough to guard from the opposite side of the key. Williams on the drive, kicks back out to Lee, top of the key. Ponganiban, dribble pull-up, smooth.
Again, we talked about it in the pregame. She's so good from all the different areas on the floor. That was a nice little one dribble pull-up, found some space. The Broncos definitely need to keep her out of that comfort zone, try to get the ball out of her hands as much as possible.
Well, they have not really required Ponganiban to run the offense. They've really thrown that into the hands of Nala Williams, which has opened up Ponganiban. Deep three from Hansen misses the mark, but it's allowed Ponganiban to focus on her offensive scoring, and that one just rattled out.
I think there's a collective sigh of relief from the Bronco bench as that one went in and out for Ponganiban.
Bit of an early pass there from Hutton, stolen away by Williams.
Strong steal by Williams.
3-on-2, but good hands by Thompson. We're going the other direction. This is a San Diego State team that prides itself on being the physical presence on the floor.
Yeah, you can see right there Nat Williams' hands up in her chest a little bit, and they're doing that because they want to encourage the player to get rid of the basketball. That's actually part of their defensive philosophy. It's a dangerous choice, though, because if you get too close and a good offensive player can pick up that blocking foul on you.
Williams trying to go over the top to Barnhart, but on the wrong page. In her 13th season at the helm here at San Diego State, Stacey Terry Hudson has done an incredible job. Now, for over a decade, it was really UNLV and their conference. San Diego State maybe playing second fiddle at times, but the last 2 years, Stacey Terry Hudson has really put the Aztecs in the driver's seat with this conference.
She has. I would even say the last 3 years. I mean, they've won over 70 games in the last 3 years, which sets some records for them at San Diego State. So when you think back to the last time they've had this degree of success, you might have to go back to Beth Burns. I mean, that's bringing us way back, back when I played. But, you know, I think Coach Terry Hudson's just done a tremendous job.
Well, on the other side of things, Courtney Presnell has been doing this for over 2 decades, his 21st season as head coach here with the Broncos, and this is a senior class, the 4 that we have talked so much about this season. This is really his prized class, his dream class.
It is, and you know, what was fun doing some game prep for today is there's a lot of similarities in terms of the stats between this team and the 2019-2020 team, which was the last sort of really significant year for the Broncos. So I know this is a special group. They've been here, they've committed. I mean, having 4 1,000-point scorers all in a Bronco jersey is huge. It's just remarkable in this day and age. So really impressive by Coach Presnell and his entire staff.
Another turnover from San Diego State. A couple of subs have come in for the Aztecs.
And kudos to the Broncos for being in good help rotation. I mean, you know, right now I think San Diego State is doing a couple things that maybe they don't want to do on offense. They're forcing a little bit. They're a little tight. And this is beneficial. That's a lot of contact there.
Yeah, no foul underneath for Hutton. Kick out Jackson for 3. Or rather, pardon me, that's Kaylin Hamilton. Bays. Drive, pull up, and way off the mark there.
Just a little off balance, I think, on that release.
And that'll take us to our first commercial break. Boise State up 6-2 and looking pretty good on the interior so far. Well, San Diego State, regular season champions, they have already clinched at least a share of the title. They have a 3-game lead over the next closest, who happens to be Boise State, and UNLV tied in that second spot. So the Aztecs at least lock up a share of the regular season Mountain West championship.
And that 22-4 record, it's their best start since 1993-1994. And again, I just dated myself by saying those numbers. But I will say that these 16 conference wins that they already have, most in program history. Again, can't say enough good things about Coach Terry Hudson.
And her team looking a little stagnant on offense so far. Ponganiban, Lotta, Hamilton, skip pass. And shot clock violation. Boy, these Boise State teams have prided themselves on defense. It always starts on that end.
It does, and that was great scramble by the Broncos. I mean, right now, San Diego State already has, I believe, 4 turnovers. I think that was their 4th turnover in the game, and they only averaged 12.5 a game. So the Broncos are doing all the things right on the defensive end. Just got to get a little more consistent on the offensive end.
Back inside to Hutton.
It's a lot of contact in there.
Can't get another. She's got all 6 of the Broncos' points so far. Lotta denies the screen. Got it tipped away for a moment. Hamilton going at the body of Hansen, and Hansen drew the contact to draw the charge.
Hansen is so good at drawing those charges. Excellent job by her moving her feet and jumping in front. She knows where Hamilton's trying to go. She's trying to get downhill. Great job by her to incur that contact and fall at the right time. I think that's something that sometimes younger players don't do. They fall a little bit too early, they fall a bit too late, but she just does a great job timing it. Danny Bays also usually picks up at least one of those a game.
First sub of the game for Boise State brings in Morgan Maldonado. Gives Maya Hansen a brief rest. Looking inside again for Hutton. They're really looking to the interior, trying to work that high-low game and feed the post early.
Well, and getting those touches inside can definitely open up the outside, and so I do appreciate that. I think that was a forced pass there into Libby Hutton. She's got her hands full with a bigger player, I think, right now on the inside. Also, there was help defense, so a fake sometimes is just as good as the pass.
Well, that one just crawls over for Kaylin Hamilton for a 2.
Hamilton really muscled that up, didn't she?
Kick back to Thompson, who hits that little mid-range. That is well within her arsenal.
You know, we talk about mid-range when we talk about Ponganiban. I mean, one of the best in the biz, I think, definitely one of the best in Mountain West in terms of mid-range is Tatum Thompson. She has this uncanny knack to elevate, hold, and make this nice, beautiful finish.
Well, there's another one of those, exactly that you're talking about.
Well, in Ponganiban, you know, she fell. There was no contact there. That is one thing that I think really has grown her scoring, is she gets to the foul line a lot. I don't know if you noticed, but she definitely turned her attention to the official on the baseline, hoping for a call there. There was no contact, so sometimes when a player in their freshman year does that, out of the official's corner of their eye, they see a person fall, they blow the whistle. I appreciate the fact the official held that whistle in that moment.
Ponganiban, deep corner 3. That one deflected out of the hands of Danny Bays off of Constantinidou.
Constantinidou, I mean, she's very active in the inside. Definitely has been putting some physicality inside. We're bringing in Kenna Garza right now for the Broncos, so this might be a little bit of a better matchup in terms of physicality.
When you see, this is the last time San Diego State was here in this building. Natalie Pasco with a game-high 15. Including her 500th career point. She has since well become a 1,000-point scorer, one of 4 on this active team for Boise State, all 4 of them the seniors in that starting lineup that we have talked about. Getting a quick little explanation on the review.
so San Diego State has asked for an appeal on that one. I think it was pretty clearly off Constantinidou. I think it was clearly off of her. It looked like she punched it out. I think, you know, the side official had to, the baseline official asked for help. Side official was one who made the call. And so perhaps that's why San Diego State is going to go ahead and appeal this call.
Well, it is such an interesting thing since the implementation of review and replays at this level. I mean, it's always those little reviews where you can see who instigates the motion towards where it goes out of bounds, but it may linger on the fingertips in this case of Danny Bays.
And it really depends on how many cameras, how many angles do they have. I mean, we are very blessed here, I think, in this arena that there are quite a few different angles that they can refer to. They have more than sometimes what we have in the truck. I'm not sure about using an appeal this early in the game. Those timeouts are really priceless, especially in the final minute of the game. So we're still waiting to get a confirmation on the call.
Well, yeah, ball will stay with Boise State.
Boise State, yeah. So that will mean a loss of timeout then for San Diego State.
Just under 2 minutes left in this first quarter. Bit of a slow start. 8-6 lead for Boise State, but this is one of the things that they had on their to-do list for this game is how we can win is stay close early. Don't let San Diego State get out to a hot start. They were up about 18 in the first quarter the last time they saw each other down in San Diego earlier this year.
You know, when they played first time this season, I mean, it was the first conference game, and Boise State quite frankly, got blown out of the water. It wasn't even close. And then they dug themselves such a huge hole, there was no way to come back from it. So it's nice to see both teams getting after it early. I think Tatum Thompson might have got caught there with an arm under the offensive push-off.
Yeah, a little hook there as she was trying to get around Nala Williams. See the series history between these two teams. San Diego State leading by a 4-victory margin.
I will say Aztecs are 3-10 versus the Broncos on the road. So maybe that proves to be beneficial for the Broncos here tonight.
Always tougher to play on the road in the Mountain West. Constantinidou, man, good seal underneath. Maldonado tried to play it a little too aggressive and ended up bailing him out with 3 on the shot clock.
Well, they had to switch, right? So Kenna Garza had to switch onto the guard, and that left a much undersized Morgan Maldonado asked to guard a post player down there.
Kenna Garza makes up for it on the other end with a big 3, 11-8, Boise State.
Garza's good from outside. Don't let the stats fool you. She was a prolific scorer for Pocatello High School here in the local area. So she, I think in her state championship game, had like 3 or 4 threes. So they won the title that year. And actually the Pocatello high school team, the Thunder, won again this year. So congratulations to them, 5A girls state champs.
There you go. Well, Kenna Garza, that's just her 7th made 3 of the season. Now shot clock turned off, 12 seconds to go. Maldonado with the ball in her hands. Garza ready for that high pick and roll. Maldonado on the drive, goes into contact, no call. 2 seconds. Latta, deep 3 ball. Did she get it off? Doesn't matter. Off the back iron and out. Boy, defensive battle and a turnover fest on both sides through the first 10 minutes. Boise State leads at 11-8, second quarter when we come back. Well, you may not know it by the first 10 minutes that you've seen, but both of these teams had some of the longest win streaks in the conference this season. 11-game win streak for San Diego State, as well as 9 straight for Boise State. Their longest win streak in program history. And you kind of have to go on sort of runs like that to place yourself at the top of this conference when there's so much condensed talent towards the top.
There really is, and the Broncos this year earned their 6th road game win of the season, which is significant. I don't know that they had a road game win in conference last year, and so that's really big. And when you start tacking up those wins, I mean, you start building that confidence, and it's great. It's great when you're riding the wins, and all of a sudden you lose one, and you're just upset and ready to throw everything out, and you go, wait a minute, we just won 11 straight, or we just won 9 straight. So that's a coach's mentality for you.
When we were on our coaches call with Carrie Ann Ramirez earlier this week, I asked her about, the ebbs and the flows and how you want to peak going into the postseason. And, of course, you don't want to look too far ahead. The penultimate home game, the third to last in the regular season. But, with that 9-game win streak, you just don't want to feel like you peaked too early as Barnhart comes away with a big rejection on Hutton. But, man, this team has so much fight.
They do. And I think that they are definitely getting ready at the right time. You look at this team earlier compared to where they are now. Nice baseline out of bounds there. Nice job by Natalie Pasco, and nice find by Maya Hansen.
Well, Pasco having the awareness, knowing that the defender's hands were in there, could just grab it and put it up pretty quick.
Well, and I think there was 3 on the shot clock at that moment. So compliments to Coach Heather Sower, who's in charge of baseline out of bounds. I do want to give a quick shout out. Coach Heather Sower's parents live here in the local area, and Pat and Phil are celebrating their 54th anniversary, wedding anniversary, and they are actually in the arena. They're going to be mortified when they watch this later that I gave them the shout out. But Coach Sower asked if we could do that today. Oh,
that's incredible. Is that the golden anniversary +1? Is that what it is?
I'm not sure. We have to go back to the Hallmark and find out what you're supposed to buy for that one. We have Izzy Harms in for the Broncos. That makes 2 freshmen on the floor at this moment. Harms with the rebound.
A little flat on the jump shot from Barnard.
The makeup of the Broncos is so interesting, having those seniors. Great feed, great finish by Libby Hutton. But having those seniors and then having this big group of freshmen. And so sometimes throughout the season, you get watching and you think, oh man, there's two freshmen out there at once. There's 3. Oh boy, there's 4. And you really kind of hold on. But sometimes that's great. Panganiban making good on that mid-range. Sometimes that experience is really great. And I will say this about San Diego State. They play a lot of kids. I mean, they are doing a great job rotating some of those players in. And you mentioned earlier how youthful they are. They really are. I mean, they've got a couple older players. I think with Nala Williams has been a great pickup for them in the offseason. But, we do have some youth out there, both sides right now for the Broncos and the Aztecs.
Nala Williams, a little runner, no good. Rebounded by Pasco. Hansen always looking to push tempo. Gets to that left hand, gets through contact, no call. Rebounded by Kennedy Lee, and finds Williams on the outlet.
And I think Nala Williams almost took out Kennedy Lee, almost forced her to travel there. That's a friendly fire we don't want.
Panganiban, a little step back just long. Pasco another board. 15-10 lead, 7.5 left in this first half. Harms and Hutton give and go off of the, or not a give and go rather, but kind of a pick and short roll. And
stepped on the baseline there on that one.
See Emily Howard check in for Boise State, get some action early in the first half.
And Howard's coming off a great game. She had her season high 5 rebounds at San Jose. Has been doing a much better job of collecting the basketball and being strong with it. I think early in the season when she was coming back after she had an ACL repair in the offseason, she was putting one hand on the ball. She's been doing a much better job, being much more physical, and I think coming into her own in a Bronco jersey.
Six on the shot clock. Oh, Maya Hansen bails out Panganiban.
That's such a bummer. You play defense for 24 seconds and then you bail him out with the foul in that moment. Just a little bit too much with the hands. The drop of the hands is what's going to get you, and I think that's what the official saw right in front of her.
Maya Hansen wasn't a big fan of the rip through.
She was not.
Panganiban on the drive. So good at just getting that half step, that little shoulder down, but couldn't finish with the left hand.
I think Coach Carrier Ramirez described her as shifty, and she meant that as a high compliment because that's what she really is. She does a great job, a little hezzy, coming up and attacking.
Arms on the drive, and got a little body contact from Latta.
And I do want to say about Latta, that's another Idaho product. She played at Utah State last year, so an in-conference transfer, but from Minico High School, just a tremendous shooter. I know that she put up some amazing stats last year at Utah State, found a new home at San Diego State, and has a lot of fans, I think, in the crowd tonight.
Jada Lewis, another freshman for Boise State coming into the game. 3 on the floor for the Broncos alongside 2 seniors. Harms on the pull-up coming off the screen, no good. Lee can't save it to herself.
That's a gift back for the Broncos there. And actually just 2 freshmen, but then Howard is a transfer, so no freshman there, but still a new player to the Broncos.
Oh, Pasco lost the handle, was open for a moment.
Man, there's a lot of contact there. I think Pasco was saying that she might have got bopped in the head on that one. No review there.
Ponganiban surveys, shifts, Lee kicks back out.
And I like Jada Lewis on Ponganiban. I mean, Lewis is known for her defensive effort. She really likes to scramble and get all over the place. And so I think she's making Ponganiban uncomfortable, and that's part of what the Broncos wanted to do today with their goals.
They were trying to go over the top to Howard, but Lee just got a hand on it. Alyssa Jackson finds Latta. Skip pass. Hamilton kicks back out Ponganiban, and she likes this mismatch. Thompson came over to help. Kicks over to Jackson, who just hits long on that 3-ball attempt.
I feel like all Thompson did in that entire possession was just run from one corner to another. She was getting a little toggle head for the tired.
Thompson has a go and fires one in from deep.
When you're tired, it's a great time to hit a 3, right?
First bucket in 3.5 minutes for Boise State. They hold on to an 18-10 lead. Just about 5 minutes left in this first half.
Good defense by Pasco.
And another rebound by Tatum Thompson, her 3rd tonight. Poked out of bounds by Jackson, and that'll lead us straight into a break. Boise State's offense is coming along slowly, but the defense is looking awfully steady. Tatum Thompson pours one in from deep. They lead by 8. Natalie Pasco, one of these 4 seniors, entering today just a shy under 13 points per game, but has been absolutely sensational and climbing up leaderboards in the Boise State record book.
She really is. She just moved to 5th in program history with 1,505 career points. Of course, that's not adding in today. She passed the great Carla Meyer in the 77 through 82 season, so that record's been held for a while.
Going to be top 5 on any list at Boise State's record book is a statement in its own. Trying to go over the top to Howard again. Deflected, stolen away by San Diego State. Hamilton, Ponganiban, Jackson, and Williams playing keep away on the perimeter.
And I like that effort to try to get the ball in Howard, but I mean, she had no way to catch that ball. There were 2, I think even 3 defenders that had dropped into that situation. So I like the concept of trying to get the ball in, especially with our 3-point shooting that the Broncos have. Speaking of 3-point shooting, I think that was registered a 2 for Lee. But at the same time, you can't force. So again, sometimes that pass fake to the inside is just as good as trying to make that pass attempt.
Bays on the drive, just got a seam and found it.
Tough finish by Bays. She does such a nice job of squaring her shoulders to the backboard. I think that was something that, as a coach, I always wanted to preach. You have a better chance. That was a tough screen. Holy cow. You have a better chance of getting a finish in that way.
Nala Williams can't find it. Finally brought it down, and that's where Jada Lewis was.
Oh, she stepped on that last. I mean, it was a great push by Jada Lewis, and I think the official got this one right. She put down that last foot as she tried to do a little bit of a Euro move, and then she saw Tatum in there. Turnovers of doing are different than
yes.
just turnovers of mental mistakes, and I would credit that as a turnover of doing. So Jada Lewis, I appreciate the push, I appreciate the effort. That's okay, shake that one off.
Mason Borcherding checks in for the first time rather for Boise State, seeing her first minutes tonight. Hamilton on the drive, always looking for that extra little shoulder. Caught a foul from Borcherding, and she's going to have 2 shots at the line.
And Borcherding moves with her. I think some of that contact might have been initiated by Hamilton, but at the same time, you have to recognize if they're going up and you're going to be body on body, official a lot of times is going to make that call.
First is good from Hamilton, who is shooting just under 79% from the line this season. And knocks down a pair.
Little light pressure from the Aztecs here. Again, just flown away. Just a man look.
Pasco with a little fall-away fader. Why not?
Natalie Pasco is so good at those. I mean, it's not quite hook shot. It's not quite fade. I really don't know how to describe it.
A little turnaround baby push.
Yeah, push. I like that. I like that. We'll use that.
Oh, that's a great pass and a great cut.
Beautiful pass by Kennedy Lee, and great finish by her teammate Hamilton.
Boy, having a post who can pass from the perimeter and the high post is such a weapon. And Kennedy Lee has provided that multiple times. Thompson got her own rebound. Pasco for 3, dials it up.
You can see the look on Coach Terry Hudson's face. She's very upset that her teammate or her team left Natalie Pasco open from 3. I mean, you do not want to do that. Not only is Pasco just putting it down on a regular basis, she right now is ranked #1 in the Mountain West with her 3-pointers, tops the conference in her percentage, and is 10th in the nation. Just looked again this morning, and that goes up and down.
I mean, that is the scouting report. And Bays is going to get called for. They're going to get Bays or Borcherding.
I'm not sure they called that on Bays. Let's see. I think
they got Borcherding there.
I believe that would be her second.
Maya Hansen will come back in. Libby Hutton will come back in. The original starting 5 for Boise State on the floor. 2 more shots at the line for Kaylin Hamilton, nursing a 9-point deficit for her Aztecs.
You know, Kaylin Hamilton has really come on. She's scored in double digits in 5 of her last 8 games. She's only averaging 6.8 points per game, but she right now is doing carrying a big heft of the scoring load for the Aztecs.
And you compare this to the last time these teams saw each other as Pasco runs off a double stagger screen, just rims out. San Diego State put up 50 points in the first half as Bays dives on the floor, finds Maya Hansen, gets through 2, draws a foul. Boy, the scramble drill, the Broncos are everywhere.
I mean, you had Tatum Thompson with the poke underneath. You had Danny Bays on the floor, going after it, passing the ball to her teammate, Maya Hansen, who somehow was able to pick up a foul on, I mean, that's an important foul on Nala Williams.
And there's nothing like a little scramble drill, a little dive on the floor to get the crowd going for you. And that's the beauty of playing in this arena is you got some ball knowers here. People understand what it takes.
They do, and it's a pretty good crowd, I think, for a Wednesday night. The men had a home game last night, and they did a promotion and told everybody, hey, if you bring that men's ticket and you come out tonight, you can come into this game for free. I mean, who doesn't like more basketball?
Especially this time of year. We're getting closer to March. Bays on the drive, swatted from behind by Latta.
and Latta was clean on top. I'm not sure if there might have been a little body in the back. I think that Danny Bays was hoping for that. But the Broncos get the ball back now with just 12 seconds on the shot clock.
Bays comes off the screen, got the left-handed lay, smooth, up by 9. Go the Broncos again.
Love the goofy foot finish there on the layup. Nice job, Danny Bays. And again, compliments to Maya Hansen for reading really well. They do a bunch of different reads out of those baseline out of bounds. It's kind of like if this kid picks up here, then we're going to try this as a counter. So nice job by the Broncos to execute well.
Thompson asking for it. That little turnaround just off the mark. I think got deflected out by Kennedy Lee. Yeah. Ball stays with the Broncos. Still 9 on the shot clock. There was no reset.
You know, it's funny, some games you don't have remain based on a bounce, and I feel like the Broncos, I mean, this must be like the 5th, maybe?
It feels, certainly feels like it. Release valve to Hutton. Swings it over to Thompson. Thompson pull up. Wow.
That's a stop and a pop and a finish right there. Well done, Tatum Thompson.
Shot clock turned off. 8 seconds to go for San Diego State. They want the last shot. Trying to cut it back to single digits.
Coach Presnell's over there urging his team on. Oh.
Nala Williams banks in the step back 3. Brings it back within 8 points and gives San Diego State some life heading into the locker room.
Bank shot. Step back, bank shot 3. Aztecs bringing the magic.
Whatever works. Boise State's got the lead at halftime. We'll come back with our halftime show right after the break. Back here in Extra Mile Arena, Boise State leading San Diego State 29-21 at the half. Alongside Coach Kim, I'm Taylor Lundquist. Kim, I mean, so far it's just been a grind session for both sides, and Naomi Panganiban hasn't really gotten going as much as she has in the past. Still has 6 of the Aztecs 21.
She does, you know, but I would really hold my breath on saying that this isn't going to be a great game for her. She can really turn it on very quickly, and some of her misses have just been in and out. She's 0 for 4 from beyond the arc, which I think is very uncharacteristic for her, so watch us to see them go to her quickly.
And now the Broncos, from the get-go, were feeding Hutton on the inside. They've really tried to impose their will on the interior so far.
They have. They're outscoring Aztecs 14-6 on points in the paint. And some of it has been Hutton, but some of it also has been on some of those baseline and bounce, some of those back cuts. Denny Bays had a really nice finish. Oh, just queued it up right there. Nice job, guys, in the truck. But, you know, I think the Broncos are doing a great job executing on baseline and bounce, getting a lot of important points for their squad.
Well, in Boise State, I mean, they have been matching the physicality, and a lot of that shows up in the rebounding category. Boise State is leading rebounds 22-11. I mean, Boise State is showing up.
You know what? That is a stat that I know Coach Presnell is going to really embrace. But again, it's only halftime. The Broncos are 16-0 when they out-rebound their opponent. Likewise, San Diego State is 16-0 when they out-rebound their opponent. So the fact that the Broncos are 11 ahead on the rebounds and have actually pulled down 6 offensive boards, that's huge for the Broncos. Yeah,
11 second chance points for the Broncos off of those 6 offensive rebounds. Really impressive from Boise State to match that physicality. Well, Boise State leads it 29-21. Our halftime coverage will return in just a moment. Back here as our halftime coverage rolls on. Boise State up 29-21 at the intermission. This is the second to last women's basketball game. There is one more men's basketball game as well following this. Women's basketball will have their final home game on Saturday at 2 p.m. versus Utah State. That is senior day and the last chance to see 5 seniors in the blue and orange. Men's basketball's senior day is going to be on Tuesday at 7 p.m. There are 4 seniors: Dylan Andrews, Javen Buchanan, RJ Keene, and Dominic Parolin. So pretty fun to come check out a game here at the X, and man, we put out a pretty good product.
Absolutely, and I think it's going to be a really really emotional day, I think, for the women's game, especially on Saturday. Those seniors that we mentioned, you know, Thompson, Bays, Pascal, and Hansen, they received basketballs before the game started for their 1,000-point achievement. It's pretty significant to recognize their efforts and to hopefully finish strong here in ExtraMile Arena.
Well, certainly a special place to play in both of these senior classes. I think especially this one that we're watching tonight has really proved that, you know, the old models still exists in college basketball. Stay one place for 4 years. We talked to assistant coach Carrie Ann Ramirez and how much that means to her, to the staff, how special this season has been from start to finish, and we're not even at the finish line.
And I think it's a really great recruiting tool when you are in homes and you're talking to players, prospective student athletes, and you want them to come to your school, and you say, look, not only do we have kids that have success here, but we have kids that have success and they want to stay. And that's becoming so rare in today's age of all the transfer portal and NIL and everything like that. So just really can't say enough great things about these four Bronco 1,000-point scorers and how they've made their career here.
Well, and you can see how the fans rally around them as well. Bronco Nation loves these four and the four, pardon me, that you'll see on Tuesday night for the men's team. Now, coming into tonight's game against San Diego State, on paper, tail of the tape, these teams were extremely similar. Tonight, you're starting to see some disparity come out.
We are, and it's, again, the coach in me is saying it's just halftime. You know, I think the thing that stands out for me right there is three-point shooting percentage. We talked about Ponganiban only being, well, she's 0 for 4 right now from 3, and that's a big part of why that percentage is so low for the Aztecs. I would expect that percentage is going to go up here in the second half. Both teams rocking it from the free throw line. Turnovers is another area that I think is a little bit different than both teams probably expected. 6 is higher than San Diego State would expect at half, and 9 is definitely more than the Broncos would expect at half. So I think there's a lot of great basketball left to be played in these last 2 quarters.
San Diego State, last time these teams saw each other, 11 of 25 from 3. So far, they're just 1 of 10 from beyond the arc. Not to mention they put up 50 first half points in the last meeting, just 21 tonight. So Boise State doing a good job of keeping themselves in it with a lot of game left.
And you talked about these teams being so close. I mean, when I was looking at the pregame prep, I mean, one team is ranked #1 in this statistic, and the other team is ranked #2, and then vice versa in the next statistic. They're just so close. And so seeing some of the separation, we'll see how it plays out in the 3rd and 4th.
Well, we'll be back in just a little bit with second half action right on the other side of this break. Boise State, San Diego State, second half set here on the Mountain West Network right after this break. Welcome you back to the beautiful city of Boise, Idaho. Boy, who expected it to look like this in late February? Just incredible night for some Mountain West women's basketball between #1 and #2. And as I mentioned before, all roads lead to Vegas. We're just a few days away from looking into the Mountain West postseason tournament. The Aztecs have just about locked up the #1 seed. All they have to do is basically stay the course.
They do, and those top 4 teams receive the first round bye, which is so huge because there's no breaks in Mountain West tournament play, right? So if you have to play the play-in game, you play a game on Saturday, and if you want to make it all the way to the championship, that's 4 consecutive games in a row, which is incredibly hard. So I think right now the Aztecs are very excited. They don't have to have the first game until Sunday. The Broncos will also hopefully be in that same situation unless some weird things happen in the universe, and they're looking at either that 2 or 3 seed, looking at some of those different matchups that you see on the screen there.
Well, if you're looking at that that potential to see be the 3 seed, seeing the winner of GCU, Utah State, that GCU team is awfully crafty. The only team to beat San Diego State so far this season.
And GCU picked up a win over the Broncos here at ExtraMile Arena. So I know Boise State would like to have a rematch with them. I mean, right now you don't want to waste too much energy. You got to look at what's right in front of you. And I think right now the Broncos are thinking about quarter 3, win quarter 3, regroup, and then let's win quarter 4. That's what Coach Presnell's telling them.
Well, we'll look ahead towards that once we get there. That tips off March 7th down in Las Vegas. Second half action ready to go. Original starting 5 on the floor for both sides. over the top to Barnard. That's an easy play from Williams.
And on that one, Danny Bays would have been the help defender, but you had Panganiban, who was in that deep corner on the opposite side, so she couldn't help very much. This is a big start for the Aztecs, and here's Danny Bays picking up a foul there after the turnover.
Well, certainly love the hustle at times, maybe a little less, but always love to see someone getting on the floor.
You do, and I think that was a little bit of a frustration. I think that, she knew that that was a pass that maybe if she would have met the pass, she maybe wouldn't have had that turnover situation. So Broncos got to settle in and play good defense like they did for the first 2 quarters. That's that same play that they just ran.
Oh, Bays had it in her hands, ends up with Panganiban, who steps in to a little midi.
And that brings Panganiban up to 8 points right now. Between her and, I think maybe surprisingly, a little bit surprisingly, Hamilton being the other major scorer for the Aztecs, and she had 8 off the bench in the first half.
Hansen's 3 ball just shy. Williams down with the rebound. Williams pushing and now decides otherwise. That one deflected. Winds up with Barnard. Back to her. 3 ball is good. Boy, what was an 11-point lead for Boise State just before half is down to 1.
And again, right now the Aztecs are getting the shots that they desire. The Broncos have turned the ball over yet again. And so right now momentum's flowing back the way of the Aztecs. Maybe that bank shot did something for them before they head into the locker room at halftime.
There was confusion all over the place on the defensive end. Who's guarding who? People are flying around.
Broncos could really use a bucket here right now. I think it's important for their momentum and their flow. Again, you see Nat Martinez, as soon as Pasco gets the ball, she's up there just patting her stomach, putting that pressure on immediately.
Bays on the drive, looks towards Thompson. Thompson wants the post up, 6 on the shot clock, puts up a fader. No good. Kennedy Lee the rebound. Kick ahead, Martinez. Shot fake, drive, spin back to the left, circles underneath the basket, and brings it out to the top of the key.
And Martinez is another player we didn't see very. Why is it timeout?
Panganiban, hand down, man down, nails a 3. Just her first of the game, 1 for 5 from 3. Panganiban gives San Diego State their first lead of the game, 31-29 Aztecs. San Diego State in the midst of a 13-0 scoring run dating back to just before the end of the half. 10-0 so far this 3rd quarter after the bank shot 3 from Williams to end the half. Thompson on the pull-up, 2 flat off the front iron. Panganiban races after it, throws it right to Thompson, who settles for the mid-range, but got it to go, ties it back up at 31.
I think Thompson wanted to credit her with an assist on that one. But again, good hustle by both squads.
Panganiban is wide open. She doesn't miss those often, but that one rattles out.
And again, the Broncos, I think, were a little lucky on that one. You don't want to leave a good shooter open, especially after she hit her last shot.
Hutton on the post up, gets to that middle of the key, but just can't get it to go. Lee the rebound.
And no rebounders for the Broncos on that one. We talked about the stat at halftime. Broncos out rebounding the Aztecs 22-11. And so being one and done is very difficult to maintain the lead or to recapture the lead in this situation.
Barnard, a little fall away. Man, that's pretty.
Barnard is really coming along. She's started all 26 of the games, just a sophomore, and she's part of that great sophomore class. Has done a great job with that spin back, fade away from the block, and also, as you saw, from that mid-range.
Pasco with a little runner is off the mark. You mentioned San Diego State having starters. They've only had 2 different starting lineups. They've had the same 5 starters as Nat Martinez dials one up from the corner, gives San Diego State a 5-point lead. San Diego State has only had one game where they had a different set of a starting five.
And Nat Martinez, those are her first points of the game. Much needed basket there for the Broncos by Natalie Pasco. But Nat Martinez had to sit most of the first half with her 2 fouls. And so she's now getting involved. And so you see the Aztecs back to full force a little bit right now with all their starters on the floor.
Williams looking for Barnard. They like this matchup against Thompson. Spinning back to the left hand. No good. Got her own rebound. Kicks it out Martinez. Lee, top of the key, will have her go from 3 and knocks it down.
Boy, Kennedy Lee, a transfer from Nevada. She played 3 years there, so she's no stranger to the Mountain West and no stranger to the Broncos. But tough finish by her.
Thompson on the drive, readjusts, gets it to fall.
Again, Thompson so creative when she gets up in the air, finds a way to get that finish, and now we're just going back and forth with scoring.
Now Williams takes a little contact from Pasco. Natalie not a fan of the call.
I don't think the fans are either.
I can hear it. San Diego State will have the ball on the inbounds when we come back. San Diego San Diego State 1 of 10 in the first half from beyond the arc, have caught fire coming out in this third quarter.
Again, and we kind of knew that. I mean, good shooting teams, they can turn things around pretty quickly. And going 4 of 5 from beyond the arc, just in the third quarter alone, I think 80% will definitely do that for you.
Trap into the corner, Williams splits, kicks to Ponganiban, up top Martinez on the drive, poke from behind, ends up with Hutton. Martinez called for a foul, that's her 3rd.
And you can see the frustration on her face. She got that poke from behind, went into the hands of Boise State player, and she just couldn't help herself. That is her 3rd. Will be interesting to see how she can come back. Playing with that foul trouble is so difficult, and you have to understand that Coach Terry Hudson needs to protect her. She's going to need her in the 4th quarter for sure, so bringing in another guard is a wise decision.
Well, CJ Latta takes that place. Maldonado into the game for Maya Hansen and Boise State. Pull up from Thompson, short.
And that's a good shot for Thompson. Again, the Broncos need, though, if you aren't Thompson, you're thinking that shot is going to be a miss. I need to get in and work for rebounding positioning. I like some of the pressure the Broncos are doing now. A little bit of a trap on the wings, scrambling out of it. That was nice.
So much of their game plan is get the ball out of the hands of the ball handlers. That's Williams and Ponganiban. Williams wants the ISO against Bays. Tough contested midi, no good. Thompson the rebound. She's got 7 boards along with her 11 points tonight. Inside Hutton, short corner. Kicks back out, Maldonado swings it around, finds its way to Bays. Bays wants to go. Williams got her arm caught in the middle.
And that's going to be Williams' 2nd foul. You know, we haven't talked a ton about Nala Williams, but boy, she was a tremendous pickup for the Aztecs this year. She was at Cal State Dominguez Hills for 3 years. Prolific scorer there. All sorts of accolades, all sorts of awards. National Player of the Year for the D2. Just a really, really great pickup by Coach Terry Hudson and her staff.
Looking inside to Hutton again. Little step through move is good. And back within 2 come the Broncos.
You know, sometimes scoring in traffic like that can be such a difficult skill to teach. I mean, Libby, sometimes you say with good players, the game kind of slows down for them a little bit. And that's a great example of the game slowing down for her. She had all sorts of pressure, all sorts of contact on multiple sides for her, but was able to keep her composure and get that finish.
Good help side defense by Bays on Constantinidou. Maldonado now wants to drive on Hamilton. Got bodied finally, a whistle goes.
And again, we've seen this already with Hamilton in the first half. She likes contact. I think she's been the beneficiary of some calls in her favor, drawing some of that contact, and so giving it back to Maldonado. Great opportunity for the Broncos to score on base on a bounce.
Pasco, what a great read.
That was such a great read. And again, this is why sometimes the guards, the inbounders, if you really have a high IQ and you understand those plays and you know what you're looking for, you can pick up a lot of awesome assists.
Hamilton from the corner fires one in answer form. 42-39. San Diego State leads. About 2:15 left in this third quarter.
And Hamilton had 8 at half, again, off the bench. 8 points, very, very important impact for her. So those were her first points of the second half.
Bays fires one right back at the Aztecs, ties it back up. This is the game we were promised.
Definitely. And I think all the fans in the arena right now are being treated to just a really great event. Two great teams, given that they're all on both sides of the ball.
Maldonado caught up on the screen. Constantinidou throws it into the hands of Tatum Thompson in transition. Thompson looking, will slow it down, finds Maldonado. Pasco on the drive. Hutton on the X-cut, got contact. That one trickles down.
I'm confused on how there's not some sort of whistle there. There was a lot of contact and really interesting, but good finish by Hutton to get that finish through contact, through what I think was a foul.
Ten seconds on the shot clock. Panganiban surveys, switched onto by Hutton. Doing a good job of holding pressure. 3-ball, too strong. Thompson skying high, tips it to herself for the rebound.
That's the extra effort of a senior basketball player right there. Excellent job by Tatum Thompson to not only have the hops to go up and to get the first touch, but to basically touch it to herself and retain that rebound. That was tough.
When the Broncos are running pretty much the same play every time, it's just a pick and roll with Pasco and Thompson. Now it's Bays and Hutton. Bays on the drive, lost the handle, poked away, tries to find Hutton, ends up with Bays. 4 on the shot clock. Pasco's got a heave one, no good. Thompson tried to put it back up, but it's a shot clock violation.
Now, if Thompson would have alley-ooped that one, that would have been pretty impressive. They had a highlight from their game at San Jose State. I think it was Pasco to Thompson, a little gym rat basketball. It was pretty impressive.
Heck of a day in mid-major women's basketball. This is the third highest ranked mid-major matchup between San Diego State, Boise State. You see the 2 others in the Summit League and the A-10 just ahead in the 1 and 2 slot. Shot clock is turned off for San Diego State. Panganiban takes the inbound. Gets it across half court. Gets through the entire defense. Garza pulls down the rebound. Maldonado. Hamilton is there. A tie-up. And possession arrow points for Boise State.
And in that situation, you almost wish that the possession arrow was going the other direction. Although 4.5 seconds, you can get off a shot on that.
Hansen catches it going towards the basket, has multiple defenders to get through. Her underhand shot is too late. Regardless, Boise State hangs on. It was an 8-point lead at half. It has shrunk to just 2, but that required a little comeback in this third quarter as well. We'll talk about it more when we come back with fourth quarter. 10 minutes to go. Welcome you back. Fourth quarter about to start. Libby Hutton got off to a really hot start. She was a leading scorer for Boise State when they saw San Diego State earlier this year, and she's been a huge factor for the Broncos tonight.
She has. She already has 12 points. I think the first 6 for the Broncos in this game. She only has 3 rebounds, but I think what people might not notice is how hard she's boxing out her player so that perhaps one of her teammates can pick up that defensive board. So again, Libby's having a tremendous game. They're going to need another important quarter out of her to get this win today.
San Diego State caught fire for a moment beyond the arc. 5 for 7 in the third quarter from deep. Hamilton gets the 2 and ties it back up at 44.
And Hamilton right now is leading scorers for San Diego State. I mean, she has 13 on the game. Again, far surpassing her normal average of 6.8 per game.
Garza left open again. Rebound to Hamilton. Deep outlet pass to Panganiban, picked up by Hansen.
Good job by Maya Hansen keeping Panganiban in front of her. That's one of the biggest things Coach Carrie Ann Ramirez talked about, was really making Kennedy Lee. Another one. Boy.
Yeah, 2 for 2 from beyond the arc. Kennedy Lee's now got 8 points and 5 boards. Bays looking for the cutting Garza. Wow, catching through traffic and finishing.
And Garza made that look easy, and that is not easy to do, especially finishing, knowing where you are on the catch, understanding, do I have enough time for a dribble? Do I have to go up right now? That was well done by the freshman out of Pocatello.
Barnhart, another three, no good. Bays the rebound. Outlet Hansen.
I think the Broncos played the odds on that one. You don't want to give open looks, and Barnhart can definitely knock those down. So I think they were fortunate that that was not another three for the Aztecs in this half.
Maldonado for three. Puts it in. Just her second field goal attempt of the game, but a timely score for the freshman from Alaska.
And Maldonado has really been contributing some big minutes. There's been a couple games this year where Maya Hansen has been in foul trouble. She's had to come in and create some early minutes. And there's Barnard, as I mentioned, can knock him down from three, and she makes me speak the truth.
Yeah, answering once again. Has felt like the Aztecs have always had an answer for Boise State so far in this second half. A lot of contact. Thompson draws it from Barnhart, and she'll have two coming up.
That was an easy call for the official, just coming down on Thompson's face, bringing her hand through by Barnard. Just her first foul, though.
Thompson just too strong on the first. Good on the second, ties it back up. And an even 50.
A little 2-2-1 press by the Broncos here, just trying to chew a little clock. It's not a pressure press.
Williams lines one up from deep and cans it.
Boy, the Aztecs definitely found their shooting stroke in at halftime. You can see that. We've seen multiple different shooters knock it down from three. Lee's had one. Barnard's had one. We just saw Williams.
Garza on the inside. She has had some great scoring output.
Nice post move by Garza. You know, I love it when a post player recognizes where she wants to be on the floor. We used to call that your happy place. And when Garza gets to her happy place, she knows she can score over about anybody, even if they're taller.
Kennedy Lee wanted a heat check, was two for her first two from deep. That one clanks off the left iron. Hansen on the drive, big screen from Thompson. Hansen puts down the mid-range.
We've been talking a lot about the mid-range game of Paganiban. We've been talking about it with Tatum Thompson. I think Maya Hansen, I'd put her in the same category. She can be so effective from that mid-range and really do whatever her team needs. Oh, nice stroke by Paganiban. Again, they're hitting the threes right now. Aztecs role reversal, 10%, 1 for 10 in the first half, and much different now.
Well, over the top look from Hansen to Garza. That is elite passing and finishing.
I'm not sure how Garza was able to see that pass coming over, to be totally honest. That was great concentration on her part.
Extra pass to Williams. Flyby from Bays is just enough, but it's offensive rebound from Barnard. Tied up at 56, 5.5 minutes to go in this juggernaut fight in the Mountain West standings. Kick into the corner, Martinez. Paganiban wide open, left wing, and fires it in.
And that's some pretty basketball by the Aztecs. There's no other way to describe it than that. Nice drive by Williams, a kick to the corner, and then I love passing up a good shot for a better shot, and that's just what happened, teammate to teammate there. Little touch on that one, I believe.
Garza hated it immediately. Paganiban pushing pace. Martinez inside Lee. Garza there to provide some defense?
Well, you know, I think that was going to be an easy look for Lee. I think there's already a sub at the table for Garza right now. Mama always said you got to make them earn them, so I think that was going to make them earn them type of situation.
Well, that puts us at the 5-minute mark. San Diego State has been on fire from deep this second half. Panganiban pours in another. 5 minutes to go in this one. Panganiban has been working to put San Diego State into the position they are in. 3-point lead with just 5 minutes to go.
She's getting it done on both sides of the floor. She's hit 3 threes in this half alone. I mean, right now the Aztecs came into this game averaging a little over than 8 3-pointers made per game, and right now in that third quarter alone, I think they made 10. So, or excuse me, in the second half alone, they've already made 10. So they're really getting it done right now from beyond the arc.
Yeah, San Diego State was 1 of 10 from beyond the arc in that first half. They are 10 of 15 from deep in this second half. You did say you got to make them earn it. Kennedy misses the first, makes the second.
Yep, it's a win. Again, this is just possession basketball. This is score and stop situation. Broncos need, that's too much, yes. Good call by the official.
Well, they get Barnard. That's just the second team foul of the quarter on San Diego State.
Yeah, when you have one hand on and then the second on the hip, that's an easy call.
Corner 3, ball just rims out. Offensive rebound by Pasco, getting hounded on both sides by Aztecs. And it just gets knocked loose, apparently off of Pasco. Boise State coaching staff is considering looking at it, but he didn't want it. Gordy Presnell just decided to have a word with the referees.
Well, you can't appeal to change a no foul into a foul situation, and I think that's most what Coach Presnell was indicating when he was pointing to his eyes a lot there, wanting the official to see what he saw.
Good defense by Hutton.
Again, another really important possession for the Broncos. Aztec lead is 4 right now. You can see Nat Martinez just accosting Pasco with the hands on the chest.
Bays denies the screen. Cutting is Thompson and finishing. Man, these Broncos are so good at those X cuts from the opposite side when the defender turns their back.
You know, when you are trying to defend a good scorer like Danny Bays, she's going to require other defenders to turn their head, and Danny does such a great job recognizing when people are paying attention to her and they're not paying attention to her teammates.
Back to a 2-point game. Hansen step back to a deep mid-range, too long. Bays tracks down the offensive rebound.
We talked about Bays doing a little bit of everything, and that's a perfect example of it. She's been on the floor considerable amount of times already this game, but just keeping that possession alive for her team, just so important.
6 on the shot clock. Bays has got to go. Finds Hutton on the inside. Turn around, just wheels out. Barnhart lost it for a moment.
I think it's a timeout. They call it jump?
And there was a whistle back on the other side of the floor.
I think Coach called timeout, and I think the lead official was granting a timeout. So I think Coach Terry Hudson was calling for a timeout. I'm not sure that the baseline official knew. Yeah, they're going to give her a timeout here.
So before Tatum Thompson had a hand on the ball for a tie-up, a timeout was called. And even from just over here, I think we could hear that whistle.
We could hear the whistle. I mean,
it wasn't the most confident.
It wasn't the most confident whistle. I did hear the whistle, though, and that's the right call to make there.
Well, the last home game for Boise State is coming up on Saturday as Utah State comes to town. They are 2-15 in Mountain West play. One of those games Boise State needs to stay present for. This is one of the games that you can't overlook when you're looking towards postseason.
I really don't think you can overlook anybody in the Mountain West. Doesn't matter home or away. I mean, on any given night, a team can really take you to the ends of the fourth quarter. So Utah State, I know their record doesn't reflect it, but they've got a fiery head coach, and he is going to have his team ready. They know that they could be spoilers for the Broncos on their senior night, and so the Broncos got to make sure they're ready for that.
Arguably the most important 3 minutes in Boise State's season to date. Martinez reconsiders, wants Hutton, 4 seconds. Step back, now a drive, and just a little too much English.
That was a nice move by Martinez.
Pasco left alone. 3 ball, no good. Tipped around, Kennedy Lee the rebound.
I think this place would have erupted if that ball went down. I really do. The fans are on the edge of their seat. 2 minutes left to play. This is some great, great basketball right now.
Ponganiban taking her time, bringing the shot clock down to 12. Sets up the screen from Lee, gets the switch on to Hutton. 6 on the shot clock, wants to ISO. Goes into the body of Hutton, got 2 to go. Got to get something up, finally throws one up. Off the back iron, Pasco to rebound.
And that's credit Libby Hutton and her length. I mean, she did a good job absorbing any sort of drive or probe type of situation by Ponganiban, and then just made sure she walled up, contested. That was well played by Hutton.
Pasco kick back to Thompson. Mid-range, got fouled.
And I believe that will be Barnard's 3rd.
Yes, that is the 3rd on Barnard. Yeah, that is a tough task, guarding Tatum Thompson for a full 40. Thompson rims out on the first, 14 points, 9 boards. Missed both, and this place was dead silent for both free throws.
Sometimes players like a little noise. I know watching Indiana Fever, Kelsey Mitchell, she likes to have noise when she's shooting, and so if you ever watch a Fever game, you'll see all of her teammates and all the fans will actually start clapping when she's shooting. So maybe we need to start that for Tatum Thompson.
Blocked by Hutton. They're going to call the foul. They're going to call a foul. Contact underneath despite Hutton getting a hand on it.
Let's see if there was any body. I thought we were clean on the top. Ooh. I think any body in that situation was actually created by Ponganiban.
Well, you can see all of these possessions. They are really looking for Ponganiban to switch on to Hutton. That is that matchup that they want, so they can run the shot clock down and take their chances with Ponganiban.
And that's a benefit for the Broncos playing a little bit small with Libby Hutton as their center in this situation. She has the versatility and the ability to stick with a feisty guard, a shifty guard.
Hansen, mid-range, so good.
I think that's one of the things when you look at past years to this year, there's a lot of players in white jerseys right now that are unafraid to take that shot. Maya Hansen came down, no hesitation, immediately attacking. That was well done by her.
Ponganiban just toying with the Broncos defenders. 8 on the shot clock. Williams on the drive. Kicks it around. Still swinging it. Kennedy Lee wants the drive. It's poked away. It ends up with Pasco. Pasco's fouled by Nala Williams. That's the 4th team foul on San Diego State in this quarter. Gordy Presnell wants a timeout to advance the ball with the shot clock turned off. 24.8 left in this ball game, and Boise State trailing by 2.
24 seconds, I mean 25 really. It's a long time. There's a lot of basketball to be played. Right now the Broncos still have 3 timeouts left. At least, yeah, they switched it to 2 now. Both teams have 2 timeouts left. When you can advance the ball and it's under a minute and you have that with that ability with an extra timeout, this game can really extend for quite a while. So right now the Broncos need to focus on getting a great shot. And, you know, there are some people that are the school of thought and they want to wear it down and have the last shot. No, you're down 2. You want to attack. You want to make sure that you're getting a good shot. So right now they have a lot of different sets that they're preparing for in practice. They've got a couple things in their bag of tricks, and hopefully one of those is going to work for the Broncos.
They'll have Maya Hansen inbound on the side closest to their bench. Bays dribble handoff with Hansen. Going underneath for Bays and just led her too much. It goes out of bounds. San Diego State will call a timeout and advance it to their end.
They are, and now Broncos are in a situation where they have to foul. They only have 2 team fouls right now, so they have fouls to give. And that can happen pretty quickly, but they need all sorts of pressure right now. I mean, a 5-second call would be ideal. But then the other thing they have to do is they have to quickly foul to get themselves into a position to extend this game. San Diego State doesn't have to take another shot, and the Broncos know that.
We just had to put a little more mustard on that pass. Get it to her when she's open.
You know, the look was there. I will say that. That was a well-drawn play by Coach Presnell and his staff. The opportunity was there, and that's one of those things that they'll look at in film. They'll make some refinements, some adjustments, but I like the attack.
San Diego State has Wyoming coming up next on Saturday at home in San Diego, 1 p.m. Pacific time. Tip on the Mountain West Network, but for now, we worry about the last 20.4 on this game clock. Just a 2-point lead for San Diego State. They will have the ball inbounding on their own sideline.
Again, there's going to be a lot of physicality that's about to happen right now. Broncos are going to try to force a situation. I mean, they will get a jump ball, so if they can tie him up, that'd be great. 5-second call, that would be great. But if that ball comes in, they need to get a quick foul immediately. And then they have still 2 more to give before free throws are happening.
You've got to get to that 5 team fouls mark in each quarter to get into the bonus. Boise State just at 2. And the X is getting on their feet. Ponganiba on the inbound, fouled by Hansen almost immediately. 1.1 off the shot clock, or off the game clock.
And a lot of teams do this. You see Kennedy Lee in the backcourt here. They're just trying to unclog and take away an extra defender in that situation. Some courts, or some teams even do even more than that.
Well, you got to foul.
I don't know why
they are not
done.
fouling. Finally, they do. Down to 12.3. Another 6 seconds come off the clock. 7 seconds, rather.
Yeah, that was way too much time. Those are precious ticks for sure.
And they're going to bring in Maldonado for that exact reason. Maya Hansen has still just the 2 fouls, but Maldonado maybe a chance to stick with Ponganiba. Martinez gets the rock, and she is fouled. And that will bring free throws.
And Martinez is pretty much automatic from the free throw line. Maybe that's the announcer's jinx, but she is 82% from the free throw line. A lot of the San Diego State players are very good from the free throw line. So we'll see what the ExtraMile Arena can do to offer a little bit of distraction for her. She's been struggling a little bit this game. Early foul trouble in the first half.
First one is true.
Again, still a 1-possession game right now. Broncos still have 2 timeouts. Regardless, you're going to see Coach Presnell call timeout and advance this make or miss.
And good on the second as well. And you got it. Timeout, Boise State. Advance the ball. 10.5 to go. And at this point, a quick 2 probably isn't quite enough. Although, if you can get going downhill towards the basket, you can't turn it away.
Well, and it's a 2-possession game, so I mean, unless you're fouled on a 3-pointer, there's no 4-point play. So the Broncos are going to have to score not once, but twice. So that means they're going to need either the Aztecs to make a mistake. Obviously, they have to score here regardless. I would take the first best shot, and whether that's a 2, whether that's a 3. I mean, the Broncos are shooting nearly 39% from 3, so they're very good from that region. Right now, the first best shot is what the Broncos should be focusing on, and then I'm assuming San Diego State will call a timeout to advance, and then we're back to where we were.
Swinging around to Hansen, taking too much time. You got to put something up. Hansen on the drive, no good. Hutton on the follow, missed it, but will have 2 free throws. That play was too long developing.
It was, and I don't think Hutton was the anticipated person to get the inbound pass. She's not usually a person that has the ball that far away from the hoop, and so they had to get that to a ball handler. And then, you know, Maya Hansen, I appreciate her attack, but again, too slow, too much time ticking off.
Hutton good on the first as the guard defenders check in, Maldonado and Lewis for Boise State. They'll be able to harass full court. Hutton misses. Williams gets the rebound, 2.6.
You know, you can learn something from every game, and I think in this game, the Broncos really taught themselves something about, yes, we are right there. We're right there with San Diego State. We can play with this squad. We can compete in the Mountain West tournament coming up next week. But then the other thing is, how valuable are free throws? How valuable are some of those possessions? And the Broncos tonight have had 14 turnovers, and some of those have been really costly. I'm thinking about that last one. That was a chance for them to tie the game. I mean, they definitely want that possession back. Tatum Thompson going 0 for 2 and some key free throws. Libby going 1 of 2 and key free throws again. You got to credit San Diego State and what they've done to stave off many of these Broncos surges, however.
You make such a good point that Boise State has really shown themselves that they can play with the San Diego States in this conference. It's not a 29-point differential, which it was the first time they saw them. This is a completely different team. I mean, you think back to that first time, that was the second conference game of the season for them.
It was a disappointing effort, that's for sure. And I want to say, when you talk to the girls coming back after that game, they definitely wanted to attack the conference in a different way. I mean, for them to start out conference play 0-2, that's a huge hole to dig out of. But compliments to Coach Pesnell and his staff, they found a way. And they're going to find a way to regroup after this one and be ready to roll, I think, for Utah State on Saturday.
Nala Williams pretty much just has to make 1 of 2 to salt this thing away. And the first is good. You know, you think about it, Boise State has really put themselves into a good position going into the postseason. Now, granted, they've still got 2 more regular season games to go. But this is a great game, as you mentioned, to know where they're at, what it's going to take.
So again, this is just another opportunity, I think, for the coaching staff to draw something up. You know, you do these things, these simulations in practice, and you draw something on the board and you say, okay, go. And you learn a lot about your players when you do that. But doing that in an actual arena, doing that in an actual game, even if it is a little inconsequential with a 5-point lead right now, San Diego State's going to walk out of Boise with this win. I think you can still learn something from this 1.8 seconds which is left on the clock.
Well, unless Reggie Miller is sitting in the wings and wants to put up however many points, and I guess 1.8 is a little tougher to do.
It's a little tough.
I think this Boise State team has offered a heck of an effort and really proven that they belong, and they are giving themselves a shot looking ahead towards Vegas. I think certainly can't look any farther than 1 Saturday against Utah State, and then 2 on the road at UNLV. So you're going to be in Vegas for 1 extra game just because of that. Pasco 3-ball. Hey, why not? Add to the total points tally on her season. San Diego State comes away with the 66-64 win. That was hard fought on both sides. We'll come back with post-game interviews on the other side. But San Diego State comes away with the win, 66-64. Welcome you back to ExtraMile Arena. San Diego State claws out the 2-point win in the X, 66-64. We are joined courtside by Tatum Thompson. Tatum, we know this one was circled on the calendar for a long time. What did you think going into this game, what it was going to take to come out with a win?
Oh, we knew it was going to take everything we've built up throughout the season, and unfortunately we couldn't make it by 2, so don't have much else to say about that.
I mean, Tatum, it's hard to hide the disappointment. I know you. I know that you're feeling it right now. But when you compare where you were December 20th, you guys got blown off the court by them. What are some of the improvements that you've seen in your team go back from then to where we are now?
I would say definitely fighting hard on defense and being more prepared, as well as sharing the ball on offense. I feel like we found good chemistry with sharing the ball and not trying to just huck up our own shots, and I thought we fought hard tonight, but yeah.
I think, Tatum, it's really easy to see that you showed a lot of positives in this game. I mean, holding San Diego State, the best scoring offense in this conference, to a really low-scoring first half. That's a testament to the defense. What can you say about the defense that your team showed tonight?
I think that our whole team wanted it really bad, and so we came out with some grit, some fire defensively, because we know that our offense works pretty well, and we tried to bring our best defense, and we didn't get it by 2.
Tatum, I know that it's hard. Losses are hard to absorb. How do you flush this one and get ready for a Utah State team who would love nothing more than to spoil your senior night on Saturday?
Yeah, sometimes you can play the 24-hour rule, and after 24 hours you gotta just completely let it go. But I think we'll just start preparing for Utah State.
Well, Tatum, you got 2 more regular seasons to look forward to, and then it's on to postseason. You positioned yourself really well, so we look forward to watching you down the stretch.
All right, thank you guys.
Thanks, Tatum.
Good job, Tatum.
Well, Coach Kim, I mean, yeah, it is tough to come away with that one. It's a little easier for us to look directly towards the positives that you can take away from that one, but you hear from Tatum how much energy and focus and real mental effort that went into preparing for this one and through those 40 minutes.
And they left it all out there. I mean, you look back, and in a close game like this, it's possession basketball. One possession goes your way. Maybe one of those threes that they make doesn't go their way, and it's a different ballgame in the end of the game. So you hate just looking at that end result. I know what we do a lot in coaching and in basketball is we look at that end result. We look at stats like what's up here. I know that free throw percentage is one that the Broncos are definitely going to it's going to sting for them for a while. Same thing with the turnovers, and especially a couple costly ones down the stretch. But this is one heck of a ball game, and 2 tremendous teams who I wouldn't be surprised if they see each other again in the Mountain West tournament, to be totally honest.
Well, both of them most likely will have a first-round bye when they get to Vegas March 7th. That first round will begin for the Mountain West Conference. Ponganiban leads all scorers with 19. Boise State has 3 in double figures. Natalie Pascal with 14, Tatum Thompson with 14, Libya Hutton with 13. I mean, you get scores from any different one of them, any different night. Shows a lot about what Boise State can bring.
They are a lot more versatile than they have been in years past. There isn't just one focal scorer. Different kids step up every single night. And again, they'll flush this one. They'll be ready to roll for Saturday.
Well, a lot to look forward to. 2 more regular seasons. Senior Day is on Saturday. Tip-off at 2 o'clock Mountain Time for Boise State versus Utah State here on the Mountain West Network. For everyone back in the truck, the production crew, that's Kim Bridges. I'm Tyler Lundquist. We appreciate you joining us. Have a great one, and go Broncos.